I was born one morning, rain come pouring down. I heard my mama say, oh my papa, let's call him John Henry Brown. Walk on, boy.
Walk on, boy.
Well, we've come to the final walk of our Lent journey, and we'll be saying more about the previous ones along the way. It's quite a short walk today. In fact, it's a very short walk today, because if you can see in front of us, we're looking up the steps, and we've come to a place called Rojales, which isn't too far from us. Would you like to explain what we're going to do?
We're going to walk up the steps, passing through or bypassing, going next to all the stations of the cross, where they're all symbolised on their way up to the top of this lovely hill that overlooks the valley of Rojales.
Now, usually during Holy Week, there are processions and reflections. We've been on them previous times with guests at night time, where there's a silent procession up to the crosses, and they're used all the way through Holy Week. Now, of course, those won't be taking place this year. So it's a short walk, but it's the final one of our Lenten journey. So if you'd like to come with us, join us on the journey.
Okay, let's go.
So as we said, it'll be a shorter walk, and going up steps with the camera might be a little bit awkward as we're going up, and we'll see the views of the surrounding area when we get to the top. So let's begin our walk up past the stations. It feels a bit more solemn walking up today, doesn't it, than it does some of the previous places we've been to.
Yes.
We've now got to the next station.
It's been very cleverly done, all the way up.
And of course, pilgrims and worshippers since the 1st century have tried to recreate the Via Dolorosa, the final journey.
The road of sorrow.
We can just about see the crosses at the top of the hill. I don't think we'll try and give a theological reflection of Jesus's steps and journeys in a literal narration of the stations, but it's more the final steps of a journey that was extremely horrific and painful, but that he knew had to be achieved. Well, we started at Santa Paula, didn't we?
Yes. With the sea. The therapeuticness.
Yeah, the therapeuticness of the waves. It was quite amusing, the gear that we put together for that, but that did prompt a bit of a discussion as to how we're going to do it. And certainly what I'm carrying today is a lot lighter than what we're carrying that day.
Yes.
Little R2D2 sat on the end of a microphone stand.
Yes, that was quite heavy to carry along.
It was really.
People looked at us as though we were a bit weird carrying a great big mic. Some news reporters, they thought, I think.
I think so.
We've been phenomenally fortunate with the weather each week we've gone out.
That's
We've
true.
had some glorious weather. Today is absolutely glorious.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a walk you can rush, really, does it, when you're walking up to 3 crosses imposing themselves on the skyline?
No, certainly not. Ooh. It's so peaceful up here, and it's a very big, busy village just below us.
Yeah, Rojales, yeah.
And here it's just silence.
Yeah. And then the second one, we had a walk around the palm parks of Elche.
Broke the tyre on the way there.
That's true. Yeah, different steps along the journey.
Yes, different challenges.
Yeah.
Ooh, steps don't do my hips good.
We could have a look at their views to see where we are at the moment. Over the little town of Rojales.
Everywhere's very green at the moment for Spain after all the rain we've had. Give it another month, it won't look this green. We really are in spring.
And the third one, we went to El Hondo Bird Reserve.
Yes, that was our first more traditional Spanish picnic.
Yes, it was.
That was definitely more back to nature. The first one was more touristy.
Yeah.
The second, thousands of years old, and the third one back to nature.
And the fourth, we went to El Pinet and the beach.
Yes, with another bird reserve with it slightly. And a snake.
Yeah. Well, it's not quite the 12 stations of the cross, is it? It's the six stations of Julie and Mike's Lent journey.
Well, what have we learnt on our journey?
That making videos takes an awful lot of time.
Okay.
But no, it's more than that, isn't it? It's each week's been different, really. Each walk's been different. Number 5 I particularly enjoyed, up to the Pantano de Elche.
Yes.
I think that was more in the open air with more like hiking than tourism, really. And then last week, Palm Sunday, was into the Palm Parks.
Which really was touristy and manufactured.
Yeah, but yeah, it's had its moments. Well, we've reached the little arena just at the foot of the cross, where usually in this time of year there are sound and light shows on Maundy Thursday.
And the whole of the Passion is played out
Yeah,
with
it is
with
indeed.
actors, and Jesus is at the end hung on this big cross in front
Yeah.
of us. It's really spectacular, but it's at 2:30 in the morning on Good Friday morning. And the whole of the Bible verses appertaining to it are read out,
Yeah, it's
word
quite,
for word.
It's quite good fun trying to guess the Spanish at that point, isn't it? And trying to
Work out the translation.
work out exactly what's being said. But,
These crosses really are spectacular in their simplicity.
yeah, they always remind me a bit of the Angel of the North. I mean, obviously Angel of the North is cross-shaped, but it's this sort of urban rusty metal idea, industrial representation that's quite interesting, because of course there's nothing sanitized about the crucifixion, so they're not ornate and plastic with little doves and pictures on. I know I said a lot of Easter's got nothing to do with Easter, and certainly the crosses have. So these particular festivities that happen in Spain are absolutely on point, as they say, aren't they? They are to do with the last journey and the death and ultimately the resurrection of Jesus that weekend.
Shall we walk all the way up to
Yeah,
the crosses?
we're not allowed to do that when the processions are on, so we've got you're like a standard bearer holding this camera.
It's quite hard work walking up steps with it.
It is a little bit.
It really is 3 crosses on a hill.
Yeah.
It's getting a lot more breezy up here now. I don't know if you can turn around and see the view, maybe.
We'll have a walk around the outside. It is getting a bit breezier.
Get blown off.
It's one of those travel photography incidents.
Selfies. Comes to an end, please don't go any further.
Yeah, there seems something inappropriate about having a selfie taken next to a cross.
Yes. But we can see the sea, just about as far as
Yeah.
the sea.
I think you're right. I think that is Alicante Castle across
Yes.
there. He said that it was before we were walking
Yes.
up, and I think it is. So Elche is across there,
Yes.
and of course this again, all of the flat we can see here. Back to the first couple of weeks, this was all part of the lagoon of Elche, wasn't it? I think.
Yes, so none of this was here.
Yeah. It's a bit breezy up here.
Yes, I'll walk ahead of you. I'm not too keen on being up here in the wind.
No, it's a bit blowy actually.
I don't want to fall off. We've managed 6 walks without injury. I don't want to
Yeah.
ruin the 7th.
But,
Really is a 360. You can do a 360 view around this. We really are on the top of a hill.
yeah.
Reminds me of the hymn.
Well,
There is a green hill.
there's got to be lots of hymns that you're reminded of. Yeah, so you're reminded of There is a Green Hill Far Away,
Yes,
without a city wall,
yes.
which means
Where
it
the
doesn't
dear
have one.
Lord was crucified. He died to save us all, I think, are the words. I could be incorrect. It's a long time since I've sung it.
I think at the foot of the cross is one that I would think about here.
I think of Mary being here.
Yeah. Would not have been easy.
No, when you look at it like that, because it probably is about the size of the crosses, because it is huge. When you think of the mother just at the bottom watching her son die, I can't think of many things that could be
And
worse.
I've said several times, but it's all right in hindsight with Christians believing in the resurrection. But at the time, people there didn't know that was going to happen.
No, so
Good Friday itself and Easter Saturday was a lot of doubt and a lot of confusion.
Easter Saturday must have just been grief and emptiness.
Yeah, well, the first stages of it anyway. I don't think that, there's not one learning point that you can say about our Lent journeys, is there? It's more, we've got to the end and we've done a few, and we've shared a few ideas, and we've realised how difficult that is, and there's an inevitability about doing it, but then there's a questioning as to whether or not you should be doing it at all, and so there's a lot of things in life you do a bit like that, aren't there?
There are. It's increased my love of nature
Good.
and experiences, and realising that you don't need to spend lots of money to do things that you find meaningful. I love olives. Before I came to Spain, I hated them. Until a friend of mine who travelled around Europe often said that she'd taught herself to like olives because she felt she couldn't visit Mediterranean countries and not do so. So I decided to try the same, and actually I've managed it, and now I love olives. Not so keen on the black strong ones, but green olives I love. These are nicer for me because they've been de-stoned. They are sin hueso, and they have an anchovy instead, so I don't have to spit out the stone.
Betty Ford clinics do that.
Now you have lost me.
Get people de-stoned.
Oh, I see. Oh dear.